Okay, KGB here. Hope you guys all had a good week. We got to see crypto running, which is really good. And I thought I'd make a video here because I won't be able to do much this weekend. Pretty busy, so. And it's been a while since I did a video. I thought I'd just update some people. As I think we're nearing closer and closer. Now I'm pretty sure by now everyone is pumping up everything, the squeeze, blah blah blah. I'm sure it's not just me that knows things are coming, but I hope to shed some light on how things are kind of going to work. So, um, we didn't do too bad for Crime Friday. We got UAVS, which was pumping 20-30% today. Not bad at all. We got a couple bangers. Someone in the Discord or in the one of the members hit this nice play. MP, I think he did like 60 grand in one shot. So that was really good. We got this bounce, which was perfect. It followed the fractal perfectly. Everything. In fact, I think it has more to it, actually. But even if it doesn't, not a big deal. You hit the rounded top, perfect balance off the top. So we had some nice plays this week. Regardless, a couple things I was not happy about was one was RGTI. I do expect a bounce, and in fact, I expect a bounce even shortly as we speak. It's bouncing, but I think they were kicking the can, is what I think. I think we have this rounded top, and what they actually did in the last 2 days, I'm going to show you how they've been repeating the last 2 days of downside. I think mostly just a manipulation tactic, and I know a lot of you guys. I always get comments on my YouTube, screaming manipulation. Let me show you a prime example of total manipulation. So here's NIO. I'm going to go to a 6-hour chart. And I called this run, by the way. I did 150% perfect. And I'll show you how I caught it. I'll show you why I caught it. I still think it breaks. The macro goes to $5. Here, take a look at this. This is the 6-hour chart on NIO. Now, as you can see, they have repeated this same pattern 8 times. Keyboard. 8 times. Same pattern. Now, what I actually noticed, at first I thought this pattern was the same as this, which it is. At first glance, it does look that way. However, I actually think they run it big, and then they run it small. And then they run it big, and then they run it small and big and small and big and then smaller. And now we're at the big, and I think they're going to run this thing smaller and see a little bit of consolidation in here before this thing takes off. And how you can tell, I mean, just visually, you can see how they're ladder attacking this thing using the same algorithm for 4 years. This thing has been manipulated since, January of 2001. January 2021. Just straight down ladder attack using the same algorithm every single time. And you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. We're on the 9th and we're about to break out. How can you tell we're about to break out on NIO? Every single time you get a lower low on the right hand side. Every single time. Lower low, right hand side, lower low, right hand side, until we hit here. Here you get a flat double bottom. Right? Here, you also get a flat double bottom. And then here, you don't get the flat double bottom. You get a higher low on the right-hand side, indicating reversal to me that we are going to start going to the upside on NIO. And all I had to do was take this fractal right here from right here. That's all I had to do and size it appropriately. And it showed me exactly what was going to happen on this stock. And it played out perfectly. I got $4 calls right here. I sold them up here, 150%, done. I could have held it, but I didn't. But I believe what we're going to see once this gets up here is we're going to see this play out right here. We're going to see this smaller fractal play out like this. So when this thing gets up here, this thing is going to come down like this, probably along this trend line, just for a couple days, week, I don't know. But we will see this smaller pattern play out after this one plays out, is what I think. I could be wrong, but it is going to break the macro trend line here, the 4-year trend line, very shortly. And this is just one of many indications that we run across in the stream that just shows, it just shows how manipulated this market is, you guys. It's crazy. Bringing you to Hollow. Look at Hollow. We've been talking about this one for years. It looks really good for a big run come Monday, and we've been following this almost perfectly here for the last couple days. So this thing is looking prime. Now, this fractal has played out many places. Many places, man. This thing is, you know, look at WIMI is going to rip, so that's a very good indication, following nicely. But many stocks are about to rip. Now, we've been here before, of course, and been wrong. So take that with a grain of salt. But stocks like HIMS, highly manipulated, man. Like, this thing was set to pump for the last couple days. What they actually did is they just fulfilled this rounded top, extended it just like everything else, and we were set to rip, but they extended this till next week for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe market's ready to give out. I can't tell you why, but they definitely pushed this out to next week. I really thought we were going to squeeze. Now, of course, GME. What are we going to do? Actually, I should probably look at SBET. SBET is a really good indication of what's coming. Now, originally, this is the fractal that we're following. Once again, extended this portion here, just elongated for the last couple days. I think SBET sees a nice big run here shortly. But this is a good example of how they kind of extended the last couple days, as well as like RG and QUBT. Now, I know Q and TM is a big topic of conversation here, but this pattern here was supposed to play out. And right here, we were supposed to get this. But what they did is look at this. They basically copied these. They're just prolonging something here. This pattern they did a couple times. They did 3 times. They're just prolonging the inevitable. And then when we got down to here, this should have been here. Now it's here. So they basically repeated this pattern twice. So this one should rip QUBT, QNN, QNTM, which is, you know, the popular stock right now. But I honestly like these other ones better. This one should have ripped. They also prolonged this one as well. RGTI, same thing. I showed you earlier. Same thing, just prolonging it. They had this, now they did it again. And they just dumped her down. This thing should pump as well. I think we get a market-wide pump next week, is what I think. Barring some sort of event that stops it, I think we get a big old move next week, guys. Space as well. We had a bunch of open. Look at open. You think this ain't? They're gonna try and scare people first. They're gonna try and scare you with a big old dump first thing at open, and then they're gonna rip this thing to the moon. It's just crazy, and I think they've been doing that with many stocks. You're seeing big dumps before pumps. What I'm looking for in almost every stock is a broadening wedge into a breakdown of the broad or a breakout of the broadening wedge, a fake out, and then a rip of the broadening wedge. It's crazy, man. I can show you many instances. Look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA, we're right in here. We're right in this curve here. And I showed on the stream how I worked this out. But I think we're going to see upside here. I think we're going to see upside in Tesla. Big old upside in Tesla. And I think we nailed it pretty good with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I think we see a dip tonight. We're probably on this third peak here. So on this head and shoulders. And we're going to get this dip. Then we're going to get a pump. Then we're going to consolidate a bit and then get another pump. They're using this for liquidity. Everyone's going to start screaming about how SPY is decoupling from Bitcoin. It's not true. They're using Bitcoin and XRP for liquidity. And I think that's the way they're going to cover this squeeze. That's what I think. And I think that pumping Bitcoin has been a plan because the big boys were probably using Bitcoin for collateral in order to do what they're doing with the manipulation in the market. So XRP is another one. Now this thing is going to do a rounded top throughout the weekend, dip, and then we should come up early Monday, Tuesday. It'll probably go faster than what we anticipate. So where does that bring us on Jimmy? I think first thing what we're going to see on Jimmy is a fake out. I think we're going to see a big fake out. I think we're going to do this fake out, and they're going to pretend to dump this thing, and we're going to pump immediately Tuesday, Wednesday. That's what I think. And it'll lead us into the macro fractal, which I'm not going to share right now, but we're going to get a breakdown really quickly, and then a break. People are going to start screaming, we're crashing, we're dumping, we're going to $17. I don't think it's going to happen. No, I could be wrong, obviously, but this is what I think happens early next week. And so I'm excited for what's coming. I know a lot of the people are in the stream. We had some bangers, the last few days. I think Bion runs. You can see IEP running right now. IEP is right in here, I believe. So IEP gets a big pump and then a breakdown, retest here, and then we come up. So very excited. IWM we've called almost perfectly. I think we're nearing the top. I think we're going to see massive volatility here in the next few days. And this is where we squeeze, boys. All up until September, middle of August, September. And this is how they're going to use it to control the market. They're going to use AMC GME in order to control the market. And this is what we're going to be dealing with for the next couple days. So I thought I'd just share some of that with you. I know I've been, I guess, hiding a little bit. But, I enjoy doing the streams. And I know, I'm trying not to air out everything all the time, but I think we're really right there. I think we're close to the end. So not financial advice, just crayon drawings that my kids drew. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope this helps some of the people that can't make the live streams, and we will see you on Monday, guys. Cheers.